Hi, I'm Pastor Norv Kuck. I'm president of Manitowoc Lutheran High School. It's time to get ready for school again. I think one of the best ways to do that is to focus on our new school year theme, which is, as always, very appropriate for a school year, especially this one coming up. Our school year theme is We Walk by Faith, Not by Sight. Each and every day, we will find confidence, comfort, strength, and joy as we focus on our Savior Jesus and all that He has done and will do for us. Time now to meet our new faculty and staff. Here they are.
Greetings, Lancer family. My name is Corey Marone. I'm going to be serving as the new curriculum coordinator for Lakeshore Lutheran Schools and learning coordinator for Manitowoc Lutheran High School. It's a privilege to serve our Lord here and our Lancer family. I've served at several WELS schools throughout my ministry in the last 21 years in Texas, Arizona, and most recently 9 years as principal and upper grade teacher at St. John St. James in Reedsville. My wife Sarah teaches first and second grade at St. John St. James. We have 5 kids. 2 of them, our youngest, Ethan and Abby, are at St. John St. James. We've had 3 children here at the high school. Emily is a junior, Haley is a sophomore, and our oldest, Lindsay, has graduated from Manitowoc Lutheran. She is at Martin Luther College studying early childhood education. Again, I look forward to getting to know you all better and serving our Lord and our Lancer family here at Manitowoc Lutheran. God's blessings.
Hi, my name is James Otto, and I will be teaching English 9 and American Literature. Previously, I served out by La Crosse, Wisconsin as a principal with my wife, Jacqueline. We recently welcomed our daughter, Madison, into the world, and she's 5 going on 6 months. And we also have a dog named Frankie. I look forward to meeting all of you, and thank you for such a warm welcome to Manitowoc Lutheran.
Hi, my name is Mark Robison. I will be the new maintenance man here. I formerly was working at Silver Lake College, and before that, Furman Heating and Brilliant for 29 years. I'm married to my wife Nancy, and I have a son 17 years old. His name is Nathan. We live in Whitelaw, and we do have a cabin up in Dunbar, which we enjoy very much and spend a lot of time up there, kayaking, fishing, hiking, things like that. So we do love the outdoors. Looking forward to spending time here and learning the building and getting to know the new people, and hopefully I'll be a good help to the school.
Hello, my name is Hannah Reardans. I'm a 2020 graduate of Martin Luther College. I just moved here to Manitowoc from my hometown near Chicago, Illinois, and I'm really excited to be here, not just because of how much I like Manitowoc so far, but mostly because I am looking forward so much to teaching senior and sophomore English this year at MLHS. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy. God's blessings on the rest of your summer, and I will see you this August.
Hi, I'm Miss Kara Scharf. I'm the new band director here in the high school. I'll also be directing the cantate choir and working with some of the grade school band students, amongst a few other things, but you'll likely find me in the music wing for the most part. I recently moved from Doral, Florida, right on the edge of Miami, where I spent the last 5 years working with mostly grades 6 through 12 in their music program. I'm excited to be back in Wisconsin and look forward to meeting the students and families here in Manitowoc.
Hello to the part of the meeting that's called What's New at MLHS for the 2020-2021 school year. So let's get started with a universal grade scale, a little bit of background. Over the past years, we have had a number of grade scales, pretty much 2 grade scales used here at school. And the decision over the last couple of years was to look at adopting a single grade scale for all of the classes held here on campus. So we're going to be moving to a 10-point grade scale. You can see the breakdown of that here. An A still goes down to a 93, and now we have the A- going lower. So it's basically every 10 points switches a letter grade. And so that will be used for all of the classes that are held here on campus. It is possible that our online courses through the ALHS may have a different grade scale. Of course, when you change grade scale, you have to take a look at your grade point scale as well, your GPA, and how that is figured out. So in the past, An A, which was anywhere from a 93 to 100, would have gotten a 4.0. And then the Bs came into place. And any B, be it a B minus up to a B plus, was given a 3.0. Well, now with the 10-point grade scale, you can see that the difference between a B plus and a B minus could be anywhere from an 89% down to an 80%. And so to reflect that in the grade point average, there is a little bit different scale being used here where each letter grade makes a difference, a little different from in the past. And then for those students who take AP classes or dual credit classes, you will be recognized with a little bump in your GPA for taking those more difficult classes. So obviously in those classes it's a little harder to achieve an A, so if you do, you get a little bit more of a GPA bump for that. So there's a 0.33 added to each of the previous scales. Thirdly, there will of course be some athletic changes. We've been hearing about a lot of those in the news recently, but just to try and narrow down a few of them here for our school, the conference decided a couple of weeks ago not to have athletic passes for the fall sports seasons. We did not want to sell you passes that you may or may not be able to use. So for starters for the year, we will just be with our normal Big East prices, $5 for adults to attend and $2 for students or seniors. There may be some limits put on how many spectators we can have. That is still yet to be determined, and we'll let you know when any decisions are made. And the same thing goes for requirements, if it's going to be where you can sit, where you can stand, if there's any other requirements, and we'll certainly let you know about those with plenty of time before any home sporting events would take place. Of course, we want to always pay attention to the seasons or individual games. They could be changed at any moment, and we would try to post those on our website as quickly as possible and try and get word out. As we already know, volleyball and football aren't able to start practicing until September 7th. Is be aware of changes, be flexible, and understand that we're going to roll with this as well as we can. And really all of the decisions that we make are going to be based on our students, not only their physical health, but also their social and emotional health. And we will be working with the county health department in making those decisions as well. A fourth change that you're going to see, which will affect students probably more than anybody, is we are going to have a couple of adjustments in our daily schedules. I'm just going to highlight a couple of those. First of all, in our normal class schedule, which is where we're going to be starting this year, we will be splitting our student body into two different lunches. So some of the students will eat before they go to fifth hour, and some of them will be able to eat after fifth hour. And this is going to allow us to have some shorter lunch lines and obviously a little more spacing out, or social spacing, I should say, during the lunch period. So that's going to be a positive change for us. Otherwise, classes and break times are all going to be the same. The other big one is we now have an official online schedule. And this can be useful for when we get deep into the winter and we've had too many snow days. And rather than trying to make up days and adding them into the schedule, we can just have classes online. And so it's going to be close to what we did last year when we were forced to make this change. 30-minute classes. We're going to have a little bit longer passing periods in between so that kids can get a break away from their screen for a few minutes, grab a bite to eat, whatever the case is. There still will be a chapel service. We did add a lunch period in here to, again, break the day up a little bit. And we're still getting done a little bit early, and that allows for teachers to be accessible for roughly an hour, so students can contact them and get some extra help as needed. And last but not least, homerooms are going to look a little different as well. In the past, our homerooms were split up by class, but coming into this school year, we are mixing our grades up into homerooms. So every homeroom will have freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, which will allow for some opportunities for our upperclassmen to have some leadership opportunities and really for our school to get to know each other a little better in a little more intimate way. So we're really excited about that change going into this school year as well. Those are really the big changes for what you're going to see different at school this year. Of course, there's always little things coming and going, but the big thing this year, I would say, is just be ready to be flexible. Thanks for your time, and I'll turn it over to our next presenter.
My name's Dave Warren. I'm the principal here at Manitowoc Lutheran High School. Let's talk a little bit about our back to school plan. This full document will be on our website, www.mlhslancers.org/COVID-19. So here's just some of the basics that we'll go through. School will begin on August 20th, as previously scheduled, and we will plan to run face-to-face classes each day. However, as stipulations may change, or if state and local governments require other stipulations, obviously the plan that we have in place here may change. So I ask for your patience and your understanding, as things probably will change between now and when school begins, and even after school has started. We also thank you in advance for the Christian love you're going to show, both to the teachers and to the other students here. Many people have many thoughts on COVID-19, and we want to be able to respect those decisions for all people so that everyone can get a quality Christian education here at Lutheran High. Upon arrival at school, we're going to ask each of the students to sanitize their hands. Besides the sanitation stations that are already in the bathrooms here at school, we have put 16 other hand sanitizers at the entrances, by the locker rooms, and other places around school. At this time, we are not planning on taking temperature checks when the students or teachers arrive at school. We're asking you, as parents, to partner with us and help us by doing that ahead of time. However, if a student would like to check their temperature because they're maybe just not feeling well, or for some reason they're sent to the office because the teacher feels like it would be best for them to check, we do have no contact digital thermometers here that we can use. One big change that we'll have this year is that we're really not asking students to visit their lockers between each class period. We're actually encouraging them to have a backpack or a bag that they can take 2 or 3 classes of stuff with them. That way we limit the contact in the classroom, in the hallway, as best as we can. Another change is that the water fountains, or bubblers as we call them in Wisconsin, will not be working. However, the bottle fillers will. So we are working on getting additional bottle fillers and hope to have them installed before school starts. But consider bringing a bottle to school that's already filled up, and then if you need to fill it up, there are spots available for us. Probably the big question that a lot of people has is, are we regulating or mandating masks? I think there's definitely a case for both sides, and I'm sure we could debate about this for a long time. Each student will be given a cloth mask, and students or families are responsible for regularly cleaning those masks. The state of Wisconsin gave us 500 cloth masks. And so if you don't have one at home or don't have one that you feel comfortable wearing, we can provide one. If you forgot yours at home, we have one that you can wear. Now, just be aware of this. If masks are coming from home, they need to follow the normal dress code that we already have set. And we're asking that you avoid politically sensitive messages written on the masks at this time. Now, masks certainly can be worn at class anytime, and in some instances we are going to require them depending on what the activity is, the size of the classroom, and so on. But as a general rule, here is our statement. Before school, after school, and then in that passing period in between classes, where multiple students and teachers and staff are present, we are strongly encouraging students to wear, and teachers to wear, a mask in that passing period. Let's work together to avoid the spread of COVID-19 when we are in close proximity with one another. Two other times that we had some consideration when we have a group of people together are both chapel and at lunch. Students, you maybe remember during chapel we normally sit on the one side of the bleachers. Beginning this year, we're actually going to sit on both sides of the gym, spread out, having a socially distanced 6 feet apart. Masks certainly can be worn. Many of us are used to this type of sitting arrangement and custom in our church services. 2 lunch periods will be offered this year, and about half the students will eat in both lunch periods. There will be sanitizing stations there as you wait in line to wash your hands. However, there's half as many students. You'll have plenty of time to wash your hands before and after, and we're encouraging you to do that. As you sit down, because again, only half of the students will be there, we're going to require you to sit 1 seat apart from each other. That's still plenty of distance to have a conversation with one another. The commons will be sanitized prior to the students arriving, in between the lunch period when there's about 15 minutes there, and then obviously afterwards. And seniors, I'm sorry to say, but to help us clean the commons more efficiently, the senior center will not be available for you guys to eat. But you, seniors, can certainly eat outside at the picnic tables on the patio if you so desire. In the classrooms, upon the arrival, there will be hand sanitizer if students wish to use it. It's very possible that in that transition from one class to the other, you visited the bathroom, you went into your locker, you had contact with someone else. And so again, use your judgment on if you should use the hand sanitizer or not. There will also be sanitizing wipes there for students, if they so choose, to take one, wipe down their desks and their chairs where they will be working at. Every attempt is being made right now as teachers are spreading out their desks from 4 to 6 feet apart. And it is possible that if a section gets too large, we may need to move that section to the commons, or it's very possible that many teachers will have class outside. And we're kind of brainstorming how we can best do that at this time. So during school or during the class period, you don't have to wear a mask. You certainly can if you want to, but because that socially distanced space is available, the Manitowoc Health Department said you wouldn't have to wear a mask at that time. Probably another big change that we're going to have is if parents, you feel uncomfortable about sending your children to school, or if your children are showing signs or symptoms of COVID-19, or perhaps someone in close contact with them has gotten COVID-19 and they're required to quarantine or isolate themselves at home. Please make sure that when you call or email the office to indicate that the student will not be in school that day, you say this is COVID-19 related. If we hear those words, we will mark it a different way in PowerSchool, and those absences will not be counted against you. If, however, we don't hear that message or we're not sure, we're going to mark it as a normal absence, and then that would get counted toward their 10. So having good communication between you at home and us in the office will go a long way. Teachers are going to put basic content online. Many of us are used to doing that from last spring where they used OneNote or Moodle or other ways like that. It won't be the full lesson, although it could be. It'll be basic information that if students are at home on a particular day, they could log in, maybe even during that class period, and either watch live the class, watch a recorded video, or simply watch content and go through content that's there. And then at another time, if you still have questions, you as a student at home could contact other students or the teacher to get more information. In closing, there's lots of what ifs that could happen through here, and we could make this video 20 minutes long if we wanted to, going through every scenario. And that's great, but you understand as well as I do, a week later, all of the answers that we could go through might be totally different. The key couple things to remember are we are taking precautions to allow face-to-face learning to occur. The alternative is to go to virtual, which we can do and I'm confident with. But I think many, if not all of you, would agree the mental aspect of having kids in school is a beneficial thing for them to do. And so whatever we can do to make this face-to-face learning go successfully, we want to be able to do that. We thank you for partnering with us to raise your child during these years, and we ask God to bless our school year. Thank you, and we'll see you in August.